Thank you very much. Today is the 22nd of December 2022. The time is just gone about 13 minutes to 6 o'clock in the afternoon in Birmingham, England, in the evening. Assalamu alaikum. We're back on the Open Gambia platform. It has been a while. I had some private business to take care of and kept me busy. Could not have come on live. But actually I'm still very busy, but I have to come on live today. Just a brief to look into, to ask these questions. Was there a coup in the Gambia? Was there a coup in the Gambia? And this is a very important development in our democracy. And the government had made claims. Government made claims, but it seems we have more questions to ask than to be reassured of what have transpired or what have not transpired or what's the motive behind this announcement. And let's just give it perspective of what we know. Because we are here to find the evidence. We want government to come out and tell us more. Because we are not convinced. I've not found a single Gambian yet convinced of these claims. Especially people with the security background or common sense. People with common sense that would just buy in what the government have said. Tuesday evening, the rumor was going around online. Where it came from, we did not know. But there was few journalists or few people who do publications were approached with this information that there's a coup going on. And it seems the people that approach this journalist are not the coup makers. These are government sources. I hope the people being approached will come and tell us more on that. But what some Gambia have alluded that they have been tricked into giving an announcement of something that they now realize it might be not right for them to put an announcement. I've spoke to a person, journalist, I cannot quote. It's up to the person to come out when they are ready, that they too got the information that there's a coup ongoing, but they refuse to publish it. Whose interest was it? Can the government tell us who was going out giving information to the press that there was a coup? The same Tuesday evening, the army came out and denied a coup undergoing. The army gave an explanation that certain troop movement in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, or there's going to be troop movement in 𝒂𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈, but it's all to do with exercise or a rally that they do inter-service or inter-battalion or whatever they call it. And they in fact invited Gambians to attend. They made an announcement and invited Gambians to attend. Now, if there was a coup being crossed, with the army came out, the Gambian Armed Forces came out to deny, and in fact welcome Gambians to visit a barracks, which is at a strategic location. This is again something we want the government to explain what's going on between them and the army, for us not to have in these conflicting reports. The same Tuesday, I was in the Gambia, and I received inquiries from people that follow me online to verify if there was anything going on, especially if there was a coup going on in the Gambia. Obviously, I have not seen any sign of anything. And no single Gambian who was within the Gambia contacted me. All the people that contacted me were in the diaspora, worried. And around 10 o'clock in the night, I was leaving Gambia to return back to the United Kingdom. We drove from my location in 𝒂𝒊𝒏𝒈. We drove down to the airport. I have not seen a single movement of any form of any troops. I have not gone through a checkpoint. Even the police were just normal as we see two officers in the traffic, directing traffic or doing what they normally do. I have not seen anything to raise suspicion. And I responded again, inquiry still coming. This was around 10 o'clock going to 11. I said, no, there's no concerns for me here. I've not seen anything that would indicate that there's unrest or there's likely to be unrest. We drove down to the airport. Around Yundum, there was none. Banjulun police station, there was none. Our vehicle was not stopped. The police were just normally doing their job. We went through the airport gates. Not a single soldier was at the airport gates. Not even a checkpoint was at the airport gates. Our vehicle did not even stop at the airport gate because there's no reason there to stop. There was no one there to stop us. We proceeded the length of that road to the airport terminal. I have not seen a single economic soldier. I have not seen a single Gambia Army uniform soldier or anything. It was quite normal airport operations. I have not seen any heightened sense of security with the police, with the civil aviation, with some of the SIS I recognize. They were just normally doing their routine. I've not seen anything alarming at all. Because I went very early. I stayed till our flight departed. And after 2 a.m., I have not seen any movements. Not the tarmac, not anywhere at the airport. Which makes me really... And I just said, it's just one of those rumors. I just left it at that. And obviously, when the army came and said nothing, and the TNT came out and verified, and obviously, he got the information and verified, and the spokesperson said nothing was going on. Now, that was my experience. And I was shocked to see a press statement from the Gambia government spokesperson, the president's spokesperson, claiming that the Gambia Armed Forces with economic and so on have crossed a coup, which is very strange. But again, we want to have the evidence. How imminent was a coup? For the Gambia government to come out to say they crossed a coup, they arrested soldiers and some are on the run. Basically, that's what they said. Sankare signed a press notice. I thought, to be candid, I thought it was a fake press release until I see reputable papers repeat it, and obviously it stayed. But to my dismay, I thought probably no, still there was an update. Surprise, surprise, the update even opened more questions than answers. The update said, let me look at the update, because I even could not just believe that a government would release such an update on an ongoing operation. I could not believe that the update was written by a government or former government, which said, update version of the alleged coup plot. The Gambia government statement on alleged coup plot by soldiers of the Gambia National Armed Forces, GAF. Banjul, the Gambia government announced that based on intelligence report that some soldiers of the Gambia Army were plotting to overthrow the democratic elected government of President Adama Barrow, the GAF High Command is in a swift military operation conducted yesterday, arrested 4 soldiers linked to the alleged coup plot. This was the same armed forces, they said, invited people to come the next day in the morning or to attend what they call a rally. This needs to be clarified. But it continued to say, those arrested are Lance Corporal Sana Fadera from the Gambian Navy as the alleged ringleader of the coup. This is worrying. For I don't believe that a government would have something like this printed. Have the Director General of SIS read this press statement before being released? Have the Chief of Armed Forces read this, Defense Staff read this statement? This is the question we want to find out. Who wrote this? Where did this intelligence come from? Did they verify? What sort of intelligence would tell you that a Lance Corporal is in charge, is a ringleader of a coup against a democratic elected government, not a dictatorship? A democratic elected government with the presence of foreign troops who are there mandated to stop a coup. A Lance Corporal was the ringleader. It continued to say, Bara Toure from 1st Battalion, Kopul Bara Toure from 1st Battalion, Yundum Barracks, currently on study leave, and Sergeant Jibril Dabo from the Gambian Navy. The apprehended soldiers are currently helping the military police with their investigations. Already there's a corporal mentioned, and the corporal seniors the Lance Corporal. In anything military does, even rebel military, even rebels, they make sure they have a high command. Make sure they follow a regimentation, whether they're going to appoint you general today so that you will be in charge. But you have to have a rank more senior to the subordinates in order to have authority and command over those. That's what rebels even do. That's why you can say a rebel who is a general today and tomorrow, because he's given a responsibility. The ranks come with that responsibility. It continued to say that meanwhile, alleged soldiers involved in this plot either being pursued or on the run are Corporal 𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒈. We don't have a name, 𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒈, from the State Guard Battalion. Warrant Officer Class 2 Jadama. They don't have Jadama's name too. From the Gambian Navy. And 1 Baji from the Gambian Navy. First name of Jadama and Baji are yet not known. But 𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒈 too not known. They didn't even tell us 𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒈 names, first name not known, being 𝒉𝒆𝒏𝒈. Now, again, a warrant officer is in charge of the discipline of that these people name, and that warrant officer, they would allow a Lance Corporal to be in charge. This have never been had before. That's why I said, what sort of intelligence and who handled this intelligence? What process did they take this intelligence or this information to share with the public? How imminent was it? How can these people be in charge of or plot a coup? That's what we want to know. We have been informed by the government, our government, a democratically elected government, that have an army of almost 7,000 with so many generals, with so many brigadiers, with so many majors, captains, and everything else, that a lance corporal decided that allegedly to overthrow the government, and that lance corporal in charge of a W2 and others. If this was not serious, it would be a laughing matter. We want to find out what is going on in that country. Who is governing that country? Do we have a government? Why would a government release such press statement? Did the Inspector General of Police aware of this press statement before? The head of SIS, the security advisor. There's a security advisor. Now, the investigations into the matter are continuing, and members of the public would be accordingly informed of any development of the situation unfolding. Citizen residents and members of the diplomatic corps are urged to carry on with their normal activity. How can people carry on with their normal activity with such a depressing statement? Now, was it a coup? So far, this is not convincing. This is raising more questions. That's why we're asking these questions. Another question I want to ask. People might ask, why would some people be arrested then? What the likes of this? I'm asking, again, I will not put my opinion here. I'm going to ask questions. We want them to bring out the evidence. Then we can go after the evidence. Now, the question is, are these disgruntled soldiers? Are they disgruntled soldiers who might have said something and it's taken as a coup? Are they disgruntled soldiers? Why did I say this? We all remember in 2018, I think, when there was a WhatsApp group of soldiers who happened to be all from the same tribe, who were said to be loyal to Jammeh, who were accused to wanting to overthrow the government, and they were arrested and taken to a court-martial, and the court-martial found them guilty. And I said no. I've shared it on my timeline today. Again, I said this doesn't make sense. To utter something, to have the intention, have to be proven. To say something doesn't mean that you have the intention to do it. It has to be proven. We live in a democracy. Yes, soldiers, citizens are to be responsible and to be disciplined. But disgruntlement do bring out certain feelings out that does not really mean any intent. And hence we live in a democracy. We should make sure we police our people by the rule of law, not as in a police state. When those people were taken to when they appealed their case to the High Court, what happened? The case was thrown out because they have no capacity and they have not commissioned. There's nothing out there to tell you that these people were ready or they have the intention to overthrow. Now this even is worse. That those people we even heard about that they made claims. They had a group and some of them were senior NCOs, but not in this case. Only one NCO have been mentioned. It's not even clear which NCO is it. And they said one badge. Now, how many badges would be in the army and be threatened? And how many badges have been looked at suspiciously? Why do you release an information incomplete? What are you in a rush for? Do you what you haven't given us anything else but just name individuals, citizens, serving soldiers. You cannot even have their details right. Are they not serving under a unit? How difficult it is to verify? How big is the Navy? How big is the Army? What unit do they serve? Is it difficult to find out their platoon commanders? Platoon sergeants? regimental strike, how difficult it is. Why would a government, entire government, come out with a statement as such? These people should be responsible of our state. We are in trouble. But let's move again. Is it disgruntled soldiers been accused? We don't know. We want the evidence from the government. Why would a government publish something very premature? It seems as either it's premature or it's been fabricated. These are the only two conclusions that Gambians across the common consensus have. Is there even a coup? That's the question. Because there's nothing absolutely. Is it fabricated? Or did something happen? It's just prematurely something. It's just about disgruntled soldiers. Knowing whose benefit is it? Who's going to benefit from this? That's what we as citizens need to ask this question. And need to ask this question to ourselves. We have to be critical, but we need the state to answer this question. Whose benefit is it to announce a false coup? Whose benefit is it to announce a coup that's premature, that have nothing that you can prove? You need to prove it beyond reasonable doubt. Does these people have any command? According to their ranks, they have no command. They are not even known, well known. One of them is even a part-time soldier. He's spending more time in the university than in barracks. What does it take to overthrow a government? Do they have a political backing? There's no coup d'etat that would not have a political backers. I tell you that. There's no coup d'etat that have non-imperialist backers. I'll tell you that. If anyone tell you, oh, this coup d'etat, every coup d'etat in Africa have an imperialist backers. Be it Yahya Jammeh, be it anybody. For any coup d'etat would have an imperialist backers. Why would anyone, or what sort of capacity would one need at the presence of a contingent of foreign troops securing strategic installations, be the airport, Nigerians, be the seaport, Ghanaians, be the state house, Senegalese, an economic base opposite a strategic base in Bakau? What do you need? Why should a statement like this be published when all these things, questions are not being asked? Would a landscaper just dream of it? If a landscaper will make this statement, does that mean that he have the intentions? Now, whose benefit is it? Why a government in the middle of the tourism? This is the time. This is it's December, the busiest weeks of the year for the hospitality industry. For the hospitality industry, for the government to be reckless, because I call it reckless, because if we cannot see the evidence, it doesn't convince anybody. But again, the tourist, hospitality industry, but again, for a government to come and announce with their alphas and everything that a landscaper was to overthrow. What state of governance do we have? For this is another question we need to ask. For a landscaper even to think if it was true. Is it the weakness of a government? And if I say weakness, doesn't mean muscles. It means legitimacy. That government that is serving, meeting the demands or expectations, or managing the expectation of their people. That's what I mean about strong. Now, whose interest it is? We need to ask. A week ago or two, we know certain governments have, especially the Gambia government was one of the leads, and the president of ECOWAS, who is a Gambian, Dr. Toure, have put it up to say that they need a Gambia and Bissau are the lead nations that put it to ECOWAS to have a standby force to counter coups. Now, we only asking questions. This is not an opinion. Is it a reason for this false flag? Is it a reason that, oh, some soldiers are disgruntled, they said some statements, someone had the statements and run to the so-called intel, and oh, we got this, is enough? Intelligence don't work like that. We got information, it's enough. Oh, we take the information, it's intelligence, or a coup d'etat. We can run this, it's good for us. As a government, the government would neglect everything that this is not good for, but it's good for us so that we can say, you see, ECOWAS, we will need a permanent peace standby force, which we are not going to discuss today, but we discuss another day what does that mean and how stupid it is to say that you need a permanent standby force. We're going to discuss that another day. But do they think that this is a good exercise? Again, it is the time that the parliament activists and politicians, the GDC leader and others are questioning the continuous stay of ECOMEC in the country. Is it again a convenient story they had? Someone made a statement. Someone lied about a statement. We all know that we don't have reforms. We still have the liars that lied. We have seen we have witnessed the TRRC. Fabricators. Is it another form of someone fabricates something? Someone benefiting from fabricating and just run to whoever matters? We need a parliamentary inquiry on how did the government come up with this. This should not be led to just to go off. Where did they get the information from? Is it to prolong economic state? Many Gambians are asking this. Again, whose interest? Is it a tendency of what? Because the government seems to be losing legitimacy for many reasons. We have questions of the elections now coming very clear that the government legitimacy has been questioned, that elections from parliament in Senegal to many other indicators that they have not won an elections. Is the government undermined, panicked? Now they want a false flag in order. Is it because of the government failure to deal with the crisis of living? Is it the government failure to deal with the crisis of the corruption of the central bank, corruption everywhere, of the police, of every level? Is it the failure of the government to deal with the cartel? What is the problem? Now, does the government want this false flag in order to justify repressive laws, to go after people that are vocal? Is it a false flag? It's questions that needed to be asked. Again, we have seen the frustration. Evidence again that the president, Barrow, has said that he want to do what? The check and balance we have. When we had the devolved administration governments, we create local governments in order to empower governance from the grassroots. He's not happy because of his insecurity, legitimacy, again, losing elections, parliamentary, in these strategic locations. Now the local government come in. Now he said that he is ready to do something illegal. How is he going to do it? To appoint governors. Even the white people moved away from that. Even the dictator moved away from that. And this came out when the Supreme Court of the Gambia have ruled that even the amendments made on the Local Government Act that the dictator have relied on, that he wanted to rely on, were unconstitutional, undemocratic. For a democratic government to have a ruling, because they know about that ruling, Supreme Court rulings are known days before or weeks before. These are questions we need to ask. Is it because of that they want to hide it? Again, because of they had an opportunity, someone lied about a coup. Some so-called information been received, and they call it an intelligence, and that intelligence did not go through the normal procedure processes to determine before being acted on. Now, it's convenient. Because I don't want to believe that the DG of SIS, the Inspector General, the Security Council would sit down and look at and come out with a press statement like that, or allow that press statement to come out. No, I don't want to believe that. If that is the case, again, just explain how much trouble we are. If that's not the case, even again, it's another contradiction of what we do. We have a government who is determining what comes out from 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒂 mouth, who is governing that country. Do we have what did the National Security Advisor think to allow this such information to come out? These are genuine questions we need to ask. I'm just coming here to ask the question. My opinion is not coming out yet. It will come out. We are going to let the government come out with their information, their evidence. But we want to make sure Gambians are alerted and to share this outrage actually coming from all quarters. Asking this question, is there a coup? Where is the evidence? Even the dictator, when he fabricates his coup, he makes it plausible. He gives out something. Where is this coming from? We are waiting. If you can share the names, you will be able to share all the details. But the government have exposed. What have this government have exposed? What do they expose? Now, again, people said, oh, this is to justify economic staying in the country. But contrarily, this would say, okay, if this was true, it's alleged, if this was true, it is saying that if ECOMOG is even in the country, a Lance Corporal can dare to try and overthrow, then is ECOMOG serving as a deterrent? Is there any point to have ECOMOG in the country then? If hence ECOMOG is here, a Lance Corporal is thinking about it. Not a battalion commander, not the army commanders, not a general, not a major, not a captain, not a lieutenant, but a Lance Corporal who's not even in charge of 7 men. He's a deputy to someone who's in charge of 7 to 12 men. He's a deputy to someone who's in charge. The corporal is in charge of that section. He's a twice he to that section. And from the Navy, not on what role does the Navy have? I mean, the government have exposed a weakness. If this was true, what does it say about the presence of ECOMOG? These are things that our opinions will be shared the coming days. But we are given this window for the government to come out. They cannot go silent. They cannot come out with silence and next minute go and do what they do. And I expect to see the press, journalists not to be conveying government news. Government, you are the watchdog. You see what they do? Give you information, a plan, and give you information because you just published. You should do more than publishing what they tell you. Dig into it. Some are doing a good job. What is the state of our national security? Every Gambian should ask this, especially stakeholders. What does this say about the state of our national security? Security is about governance. If we don't have a government who's fit for purpose, a government who cannot determine what is genuine or not, or what should be shared, a press release, government cannot. It's tempting to share opinion, but I'm really guided not to share opinion. But we have to ask, what's the state of our national security? You see, and we have an Inspector General of Police who comes and say, Gambia is the best here. The army will come and say, Gambia is the best here. What best are we? Politicians will say, Gambia is the most stable. And we hearing this from the government. What's the point of economic being the country? They are not even a deterrent. What is security about? It's about deterrent, avoidance, contingency. What does this do with for investor confidence? A country, the Alliance Capital, is accused of wanting to overthrow the government, a democratic elected government, a government backed with an armed forces, a government backed by contingent of foreign troops. What's the justification? But don't be lazy to think, oh, this is no. It's in both ways. If you look at it, this is a justification for economic to stay on. Then you should ask yourself, what is the point of economic? Because if people dare to do it, then what's the problem? The problem is not about soldiers. Then the problem is about governance. Why? Why in need? Why would anyone want to do something that illegal? After everything we saw. But again, after 6 years, what does it say about our security? Where is the security reforms? Again. Where is the civil service reforms? Again. Where is our transition? We did not have a transition. I keep on saying this. Until we have a transition, we don't have a national security guarantee. The presence of economic will be discussed. Economic mission creep, are they serving our strategic interests? These things need to be asked. Whose strategic interests are they serving? Is it sustainable? Should a democratic elected government have presence of without the absence of even war? For 6 years, where's the security sector reform? What's the point of having all these generals in the country? What's the where's the reforms? Where's the transition? But again, if we are to hold the system accountable, if we are to hold Barrow accountable, let's hold ourselves accountable. This is only possible because of us citizens are not doing the right thing. We don't have political parties fit for purpose. We don't have the press that is fit for purpose. And so-called informed citizens are not fit for purpose. That's why we are living in this sort of a situation. And the government is taking this opportunity, knowing that they can get away because we are so much divided. With all these things going on in that country and worse. Yes. As I said, it's going to be brief. and look forward to more dialogue once we finish. I was continuing my break with these holidays, but if anything to do with this topic, if I have anything, if the government comes with anything, I am coming out and we follow this one. We're going to follow this. For the rest, inshallah, after the Christmas holidays, we are going to come and tackle this. I have been in the Gambia for not for a month. I have been in the sub-region for a month. Let's just say the sub-region for a month. And one thing I learned, at times I do feel guilty because I have not visited the sub-region for 7 years, that at times I'm too harsh, but actually, what I learned from this month being in the sub-region is I've been underestimating our problem, especially the Gambian problem, but more so the sub-region. I've been into Senegal and I've been into other areas, but we are in a big problem. And I hope that Gambians would wake up and be conscious to take serious matters and stop this divisive politics and concentrate on things that needed to be concentrated on. And this is just a sign of what we have to deal with. Thank you very much. We'll come back and deal with the follow-up from government. We are waiting to hear from government what do they have. Was it a coup? Was it disgruntled soldiers? The government took an opportunity to use it as a false flag to do what they think is serve their interest, not the national interest. Many questions are to be asked until the government to ourselves. Thank you very much, Gambia. Still, we see you again. Thank you.